Have you ever wondered why, after the age of 60, your body feels exhausted, but your brain refuses to turn off? You lie down hoping for a deep, peaceful night, but the moment you close your eyes, it feels like a switch flips on inside your head. Suddenly, you're wide awake, your mind starts racing, your chest feels a little tight, and no matter how hard you try, sleep just slips further and further away, and then, almost like clockwork, at 1 or 2 or even 3 in the morning, you wake up again, fully alert, completely awake, as if your body and your brain are no longer on the same team. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 experience this exact pattern every single night. But here's the surprising truth. It's not aging. It's not your body getting old. And it's definitely not something you have to accept as normal. What's really happening is a series of silent changes inside your nervous system, your hormones, and your internal clock, changes most people never get told about. And the good news is this: once you understand what's happening inside your body, you can take back control of your nights. In this video, you'll discover the real reasons behind late-night wake-ups, broken sleep, and restless nights. And you'll learn practical, natural steps that can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. So stay with me until the end, because the final section includes a simple 90-second technique that can help calm your system and shut down nighttime cortisol when you need it most. The silent truth behind sleep problems after 60. When most people over 60 start struggling with sleep, they usually blame age. They say things like, "Well, I'm getting older, so of course I sleep less." Or, "Maybe this is just how it is from now on." But the truth is far more interesting and far more hopeful. Sleep problems after 60 don't happen because your body is falling apart. They happen because of a few silent changes happening inside your system. Changes that no one really talks about, even though they affect almost everyone. The first big change is in your melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain, it's time to sleep now. After 60, your body simply produces much less of it, so even though you feel tired, your brain doesn't receive that strong sleep signal anymore. It's like dimming the lights instead of turning them off. You lie down, but your mind is still awake, still processing, still alert. At the same time, another hormone begins to misbehave: cortisol. Cortisol is supposed to rise in the morning to help you wake up. But as you age, this rhythm often shifts. Instead of rising at 6 or 7 in the morning, it spikes at 1, 2, or 3 a.m. That sudden spike is what jolts you awake in the middle of the night. You're not imagining it. Your heart really is beating faster, your mind really does feel wired, and your body genuinely believes it's time to wake up even though it's still dark outside. Your nervous system also becomes more sensitive with age. The brain chemicals that help you relax, like GABA and serotonin, naturally decline over time. That means your system reacts more strongly to things that never bothered you before. A small noise, a dim light, a racing thought, or even just a mild emotional worry that gets amplified at night. And on top of that, many seniors unknowingly develop a low level of chronic inflammation in the nervous system. You don't feel it like pain or sickness, but it quietly interferes with the pathways your brain uses to fall asleep and stay asleep. This inflammation makes your brain more reactive, more alert, and less able to shift into a deep, restorative sleep cycle. So if you've been wondering, why can't I sleep like I used to? The answer isn't age, it's biology. And the best part is, biology can be changed. Once you understand what's happening inside your body, you can finally start working with it instead of fighting against it. 3 hidden reasons. Your sleep gets worse without you realizing it. Now that you know what's happening inside your body, let's talk about something just as important: the habits and daily patterns that quietly make your sleep worse without you even noticing. These aren't dramatic problems. They're small, subtle things you do every day. Things that seem harmless, but they slowly push your nervous system out of balance and make it harder for your brain to rest at night. One of the biggest culprits is evening light exposure, especially blue light. Phones, tablets, televisions, LED bulbs, All of them send a strong signal to your brain that it's daytime, even when it's late at night. And when your brain thinks it's daytime, it stops producing melatonin almost instantly. You may think you're winding down by scrolling, reading news, or watching a show, but inside your brain, it's the opposite. Your sleep hormone is being shut off right when you need it the most. Another quiet trigger is late eating or drinking, especially foods and beverages that seem harmless. A cup of warm tea, a bowl of fruit, a little chocolate, or even a glass of milk. These can all stimulate your system more than you realize. Some increase your blood sugar, others activate digestion, and some act as hidden sources of caffeine. And because the bladder becomes more sensitive as we age, drinking too close to bedtime can easily wake you up at 2 or 3 in the morning. And finally, there's stress, the silent kind. Not the dramatic, overwhelming kind, but the everyday tension that builds over years. Worrying about family, health, finances, responsibilities. Even when you think you're fine, your nervous system remembers. It stays slightly activated, slightly alert, and slightly tense. And when bedtime comes, it simply doesn't know how to turn itself off. These small things don't seem like much on their own, but together they create the perfect environment for broken sleep. And the good news is, once you recognize them, you can start changing them. In the next part, we'll look at the mistakes most people make when they try to fix their sleep and why those mistakes often make things worse. 3 dangerous mistakes that make your sleep even worse. Now let's talk about something that surprises most people. When sleep gets worse, many seniors try to fix it in ways that actually make the problem harder to solve. These mistakes come from good intentions, but they confuse the brain, disrupt the nervous system, and make it even harder to fall back asleep the next night. The first mistake is trying to force yourself to sleep by staying in bed. It sounds logical. If you can't sleep, just lie there until you do. But the brain doesn't work that way. When you lie awake for too long, your brain starts associating your bed with wakefulness instead of rest. It begins to believe that bedtime is a stressful time, a time of overthinking, a time when nothing works, and the longer you stay there tossing and turning, the stronger that association becomes. That's why your body starts feeling restless the moment you lie down. The second mistake is drinking or eating something soothing too close to bedtime. Many people think a warm drink will relax them, but most evening beverages, tea, milk, herbal infusions, activate the digestive system or stimulate the bladder. Even a seemingly harmless drink can wake you up a few hours later, right in the middle of your deep sleep cycle. And once you're awake, it becomes much harder to fall back asleep because your nervous system thinks the day has started. And the third mistake is using screens as a way to distract yourself. Watching videos, scrolling through your phone, checking messages. It feels comforting when you can't sleep, but the blue light from those screens shuts down melatonin almost immediately. Even a few minutes of screen exposure can reset your brain into awake mode, and what was supposed to be a quick distraction turns into hours of wakefulness. These mistakes are extremely common, but once you stop making them, your sleep already starts to improve. Now, let's move to the most important part of this video, the natural solutions that can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. 6 natural solutions that help you sleep deeply within 3 to 7 nights. Now that you understand the hidden causes and the common mistakes, let's focus on what you can actually do to sleep better, starting tonight. These are simple, natural techniques that work with your body, not against it. You don't need pills, you don't need expensive supplements, and you definitely don't need complicated routines. What you need are small, consistent changes that help your nervous system calm down and reset. One of the most effective techniques is the 4-2-4 breathing pattern. It's incredibly simple. You take a slow breath in for 4 seconds, hold it gently for 2 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds. This pattern sends a clear signal to your brain that it is safe to relax. Your heart rate slows down, your muscles loosen, and your mind becomes quieter. Doing this for just 2 or 3 minutes before bed can completely change the way you fall asleep. Another powerful solution is reducing blue light at least 90 minutes before bedtime. When you turn off your screens and switch to warm lighting, melatonin rises naturally, and when melatonin rises, your brain shifts into sleep mode all by itself. Think of it as giving your internal clock a chance to sync again. Increasing magnesium-rich foods is also incredibly helpful. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for relaxation, yet many older adults don't get enough of it. Foods like bananas, pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, avocados, and almonds gently calm the nervous system and help your muscles release tension. Eating these in the evening, not right before bed, but during dinner, can make it much easier to drift off. Another habit that makes a big difference is adjusting your bedroom temperature. Most people sleep best when the room is slightly cool, around 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. When your body temperature drops just a little, your brain receives a natural signal that it's time to sleep. Even opening a window for fresh air can help. Gentle stretching is another underrated tool. Spending 5 minutes relaxing your neck, shoulders, hips, and legs helps the body unload tension from the day. When your muscles relax, your mind follows. And finally, creating a predictable rhythm for your body. Going to bed and waking up at the same time and getting a bit of morning sunlight helps reset your internal clock. A consistent rhythm can improve your sleep more than most medications. In the next section, we'll go even deeper and talk about a special 90-second technique that helps calm nighttime cortisol when you wake up between 1 and 3 a.m. The 90-second technique that helps shut down nighttime cortisol. Now let's talk about something extremely powerful, especially for those of you who keep waking up at 1, 2, or 3 in the morning. This is the time when cortisol, your alertness hormone, often spikes by mistake. And when it does, your body snaps awake even though you desperately want to stay asleep. That's why this 90-second technique is so important. It teaches your nervous system how to calm down quickly and return to a restful state. Here's how it works. Whenever you wake up in the middle of the night, don't panic, don't sit up, and don't reach for your phone. Instead, place one hand gently on your chest and let your shoulders relax. This simple position activates the calming branch of your nervous system. Then begin slow breathing. Inhale gently, pause for a moment, and let the air flow out in a long, soft exhale. Do this about 10 times. Each breath lowers your heart rate and quiets the cortisol response. After that, lightly press the soft area just below your ears on both sides. This helps calm tension in the neck and activates pathways that reduce stress signals. Within 90 seconds, your system starts shifting back towards sleep mode, and once that happens, drifting off again becomes much easier. The final mistake. Most people over 60 don't even realize they're making. Before we move into the conclusion, there's one more thing you need to understand. Something almost no one talks about, yet it quietly keeps millions of older adults stuck in the cycle of sleepless nights. And that is the belief that poor sleep is simply a normal part of aging. Many people say, well, I'm older now, so of course I won't sleep well. Or, everyone my age wakes up at night, so it must be normal. This mindset is incredibly common, but it's also incredibly damaging. When you believe that bad sleep is normal, you stop trying to improve it. You accept restless nights as something you have to live with. You ignore small warning signs. You keep the same habits. And without meaning to, you allow the problem to become bigger and more permanent. Over time, this belief rewires your nervous system to expect poor sleep. It becomes a pattern, a routine, almost a part of your identity. But here's the truth. Sleep problems at 60, 70, even 80 are not something you are supposed to just accept. Your brain is still capable of resting deeply, your nervous system is still capable of calming down, and your internal clock is still capable of resetting. Even if it has been off balance for years, I've seen people who struggled with sleep for a decade finally start sleeping through the night again. I've seen seniors who thought they were too old to change, regain energy, mood, memory, and strength simply because they started sleeping better. Your age does not prevent your brain from recovering. What prevents recovery is believing that change is impossible. So if you've ever told yourself, "This is normal for my age," I want you to let go of that thought right now, because the moment you stop accepting sleepless nights as your destiny is the moment your journey back to better sleep truly begins. So now that we've reached the end of this video, let's take a moment to bring everything together. You've learned what really happens inside your body after the age of 60, why sleep becomes lighter, why you wake up between 1 and 3 in the morning, and why your nervous system seems to stay alert even when you're exhausted. You've also seen how small habits, screens at night, late snacks, warm drinks, or staying in bed too long, quietly make things worse without you realizing it. But the most important part is this. You now have simple, natural tools to help your body sleep again. The breathing technique, the blue light routine, magnesium-rich foods, gentle stretching, cooler bedroom temperatures, and a steady daily rhythm. They're all real, practical changes you can start tonight. And don't forget the 90-second method for calming cortisol during those early morning wake-ups. It may be small, but it can make a huge difference. Before you go, tell me this in the comments. Are you struggling more with falling asleep at the beginning of the night or staying asleep through the night? Just type A for falling asleep or B for waking up at night. And if you want to learn how to reset your sleep clock in just 7 nights, tap on the next video showing on your screen. Thank you for being here, and I truly wish you a calm, peaceful night ahead.